I hope I can bring you some type of peace of mind. You're not crazy. You're not cursed. And no, it's not just bad luck. You keep attracting emotionally unavailable people because a part of you is emotionally unavailable too. Be honest about it. But not in the way that you think. Let's talk about it. We don't fall in love with people. We fall in love with patterns, with familiarity, with unfinished stories. We don't chase love. We chase recognition. And the unavailable, they remind you of the first time love felt just out of reach. A parent, a caregiver, a ghost in a warm body, someone who taught you love was something you had to earn, not receive. So when someone mirrors that, it feels like home, not a healthy one, but the one your nervous system memorized as normal. You're not chasing, well, some of us are, but you're not choosing pain on purpose. But your inner child is still trying to finally win the affection they were denied from a new face, same wound. And let me break this down from a clinical standpoint. This is what we call trauma reenactment. Your subconscious is attempting to resolve old pain by recreating the scene, hoping for a different ending. But emotionally unavailable people don't give you healing. They give you rehearsal. They let you play out your wound, not work through it. You think you're strong for loving them through it, but what you're actually doing is emotionally auditioning for someone who was never emotionally hiring. Let me say something that's hard to hear. You're not just the victim of their unavailability. You are a participant in the pattern. Because part of you is terrified of being fully seen too, let's be honest. Because availability requires vulnerability, and vulnerability requires self-worth, the kind that doesn't beg, doesn't chase, and doesn't perform. You say you want someone available, but deep down, you're scared of what they might see. If someone finally stood still long enough to look at the real you. So you pick people who keep the spotlight off. You mistake mystery for depth, inconsistency for passion, avoidance for strength, and you call it chemistry when it's really just chaos. You recognize this isn't to shame you. This is to free you for the very first time, because I know what it's like to crave love in rooms that echo with silence, to feel like you have to earn presence to prove you're worth choosing. I know what it's like to feel like love is something you perform, not something you simply receive. You learn to overfunction, overgive, overextend, overfeel, just to hold on to crumbs. But listen to me. Crumbs are for people who've forgotten what a feast tastes like. And you are not created for starvation. So you want to stop attracting the unavailable, right? Start becoming available to yourself. Stop ghosting your own needs. Stop breadcrumbing your healing. Stop dating people who only love the wounded version of you because you haven't introduced them to the whole version of you. Become so emotionally available to you that anyone who shows up half present feels foreign, not familiar. Because the truth is, you don't attract what you want. You attract what you believe you deserve, and you keep what you are emotionally available to receive. So if all you've known is performance-based love, which is not love, you'll keep being drawn to people who applaud your efforts but never hold your heart. And you'll call it passion, but it's really self-abandonment in disguise. Most people think that they are falling in love with another person, but often you're just falling into a mirror that reflects your unmet needs, your unhealed fears, your secret shame, and worst of all, the parts of you that still believe love should feel like uncertainty. You think you're chasing intimacy, but what you're actually chasing is yourself and someone else who refuses to meet you there. That's why it hurts so much when they don't choose you, because it's not just rejection, it's a confirmation of what you feared all along, that you are hard to love, except you're not. You've just been auditioning in the wrong theater. We don't fall for people's reality, y'all. We fall for their potential, what they could be if they healed, what it could become if they chose us, what we might feel if they finally open up to us. But potential is a dangerous drug. It promises healing without the pain. It promises connection without the commitment. It keeps your hope alive, but your peace on life support. You're not in love with them. You're in love with the version of them you created in your imagination. You've been dating their potential for a long time while neglecting your own. You want to know how to stop attracting emotionally unavailable people? Get radically honest about the parts of you that have been emotionally unavailable to yourself. The part that silences your needs, that avoids stillness, that would rather be wanted than be well. Step 2, grieve the version of you who was only loved in fragments. Grieve him, grieve her. Then let her rest, then let him rest. Step 3, stop choosing familiar over safe. Love that feels foreign at first might be the healthiest thing you've ever experienced. And finally, step 4, you got to decide. Decide to no longer be the person who tolerates emotional poverty, who builds castles with people who only bring bricks of inconsistency, who explains over and over again what they deserve to be loved. And finally, step 4, you got to decide. Decide to no longer be the person that tolerates emotional poverty, who builds castles with people who only bring bricks of inconsistency, who explains over and over again why they deserve to be loved to people who don't even love themselves. You don't have to prove your worth in rooms where the door only swings one way. So here's your invitation. Sit with the quiet for the first time. Unpack the loneliness for the first time. Let the ache rise and listen to what it's trying to tell you for the first time, because the version of you that keeps picking emotionally unavailable people isn't desperate. You're just exhausted. You've been surviving on half love and false hope, and it's time for you to come home to you, to the triune God, to a love that doesn't make you chase it. You're not asking for too much. You're just asking the wrong people. And it's time to stop knocking on doors that require you to shrink to enter. You were made for more. And now you finally believe it.